Wow. Where do I put this? Podiums are no longer ours. Good afternoon. I just wanted to remind everyone how strong Roswell has been throughout this tragedy. I met with teachers earlier today. Cabinet Secretary Hannah Scandera and I have been here since the day of the incident. Have had a lot of communication with parents, teachers, people who were in the gym. Yesterday there were over 1,500 people at the prayer vigil. And I really do encourage the kids and their parents and their siblings to reach out and get to talking to other folks, to counselors. We have counselors that are available at their Turquoise Health and Wellness, and they have offices that are available all day tomorrow for people who want to talk, and they can be reached at 575-623-1480. And yesterday during the vigil, one of the things that was most moving for me was a young man. He was there at the shooting. He just stood in front of me, and I started to talk to him, and he said he was there. He was at the shooting, and I said, "How do you feel?" And he said, "Okay." And most people will just walk away after you hear "okay." But I kept pushing, and I said, "But, you know, were you nearby? Did you see what happened?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "And how does that make you feel?" And he said, "I'm trying to shove it down. I'm trying to push it down." Which means he doesn't want to express what he's feeling, but it will come out at one point. And that's why I'm asking people to make sure to take advantage, the community as a whole. Other kids from other schools are afraid. If it happened here in Roswell in one school, can it happen here in Roswell in another school? And so kids are afraid, and I'm asking parents that don't just ask, "Are you okay?" and get the response, "I'm okay." Keep talking. Sit down. How does this make you feel? What do you think, even though you don't go to that school? How do you feel about that? Should we go talk to other kids and go to the Turquoise Health and Wellness and a small group of kids and talk about what's going on and how we need to feel safe? Roswell has done an amazing job. In New Mexico, I mean, this truly is New Mexico. People pulling together yesterday, 1,500 folks, praying for each other, praying for those two children. There is not a lot of an update on the two children. Kendall Sanders was upgraded to stable last night and is still in recovery. She's expected to be there about a week or more. She is 13 years old, and she has suffered injuries to her right shoulder. The other child is 12 years of age, and the parents have asked that we officially not give his name, and they have asked for privacy. The child is not, he is in worse condition than Kendall and is still listed in critical condition. He suffered injuries to the side of his face and his neck. And I continue to ask all New Mexicans to please pray for this young man and for Kendall. We want to be able to welcome them home. We don't want this to be the extreme tragedy of losing either one of them. The family of the young boy has asked for their privacy. They don't want to be bothered right now. They're very, very focused on making sure their little boy is being taken care of. Chief Pete Caceres in a little bit will be talking about the investigation. Cabinet Secretary and I have been with teachers and other personnel in the school, in the library earlier today. We met with them because They had someone here with expertise on how to deal with critical situations, how to talk to kids, how to get them engaged, because the children that return to school tomorrow were not the children who arrived on Tuesday. They are different. And so how do they engage them? How do they get them back to being as normal as possible into their routines and into their conversations? And that this expert was helping the personnel here at the school. How do you deal with those types of situations when maybe a child just breaks down, and what do you do at that moment? But first I'm going to introduce to you Superintendent Tom Burris of the Roswell Public School District and ask him to come and address you.
Thank you, Governor. First, I would like to thank the Governor and Secretary Scandera. The outpouring of support from our community, from our state, from the Public Education Department has been incredible. The outpouring of support and kind wishes from superintendents across the state, I believe I've heard from every superintendent. I've heard from kids from the Colorado schools who were involved with things like this, offering to come send a group of kids here, and we will consider that. This is a very difficult situation, and we've been very, very well supported. Our focus, of course, is our kids. Our focus is the well-being of the two that were injured and the well-being of the one who was the perpetrator. These are our kids. It doesn't stop being our kids because they're injured or because they're incarcerated. Our teachers tomorrow have a very, very difficult and stressful day coming, and they've all worked very hard today to prepare for tomorrow. As the governor said, Tuesday when those kids came to school, the teachers were different than they will be tomorrow. Tomorrow they will all be counselors. Every staff member is in there working to prepare the kids for tomorrow. Our hearts go out to our two in Lubbock, and we wish them speedy recovery. We wish them back at school. I am a parent of two little girls in the school district, elementary age. They went to school yesterday. They went to school today. Their mother is an employee of the school district. She's a counselor. She was here today with the group to work with kids tomorrow. I have the confidence in Roswell Independent School District. I have the confidence that we're safe. I have the confidence that we have the best teachers in the state who will do the best job with our kids. And tomorrow, I've told the teachers, it's a face of courage, it's a face of love, and a face of positive that you have to put on for every one of our kids. You're the leader of the class. You're the leader that is going to lead these kids back from where they've been in the last 2 days. I appreciate all of the consideration of the media. There are a lot of things with school that I can't talk about, and I've been very well respected with that. And just know that my position as a superintendent, my position as a teacher and a principal and a dad is these kids are number one, and appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'll provide you with an update as far as our investigation. I know there's been some discussion about the suspect and his name and why I haven't been able to disclose that. It's because I'm bound as a law enforcement agency by the criminal code, children's code, as to what I can say and confirm at this point in time. Again, I want to reiterate that we believe we have the sole individual in custody that's responsible for this event, this situation. We're still working with the district attorney's office on the actual charging and how that will roll out. So I don't have any definitive information for you on that. To confirm, we worked through the night to ensure that we would finish serving or executing the 3 search warrants, so we could return the school back to the gymnasium and back to the school. We went ahead and executed those warrants on the suspect's locker, on a I'll categorize it as a duffel bag. I believe it was categorized as an instrument case. That's not correct. It's a duffel bag. And also the residence on Sycamore Street in Roswell. Due to the fact that the warrants are sealed, I cannot disclose exactly what we found at this time. However, I can tell you we did find evidence that the suspect had planned this event. I can't discuss the particulars as to why, but we've definitely discovered that through the warrant process. To speak to the weapon that was used, again, I'll reconfirm that it's a 20 gauge pump shotgun. The handle or stock was sawed off, making it more of a pistol grip type weapon. It had 3 rounds of ammunition in that weapon, what I would categorize as birdshot. All 3 rounds were expended during the incident. We believe from our criminalistics, 1 round went into the ceiling area, and not in any particular order. 2nd round was shot into the floor of the gymnasium, and the 3rd round was aimed into the stands at the students. We believe that the distance that weapon, when fired at the 2 young individuals that were struck, was about 12 to 15 feet in distance. Our investigation is somewhat wrapping up. We've done over 60 what we would categorize as primary interviews. Our efforts will continue to reach out to anybody else that believes they were a witness to this and saw exactly what happened and what was pertinent to the investigation. I want to stress that I believe that this is an isolated incident. I'm very pleased throughout the yesterday and today how the school officials and local officials have interacted with the state police to allow us to do our jobs and get this process as completed as we can. That's all I have for now on the investigative part.
Chief, any other firearms found during your search warrant?
No.
Not even in the home?
No, I can't talk about exactly what we found on the particular search warrants, but I'm of the belief that there are no other firearms that were involved.
Where is the suspect now?
He's in Albuquerque at a location there.
Chief, any more evidence that he warned other students or posted anything anywhere to suggest kids ought not to come to school on Tuesday?
You know, we have some indication of that. We're still going through the social media as I talked about, but we believe there were some preliminary warnings as he arrived at school, but we're working through those with those interviews.
Were those
With
online? I'm sorry, were they online or?
We believe that they were in person to some select students that he ran into before he entered that gymnasium.
The morning of?
The morning of, yes.
How did you know that it was planned? Was there a note?
Can't disclose exactly how we know that. I can just tell you that we found evidence to believe that it was thought out and planned prior to.
Can you tell if it was a random shooting or was it targeted?
I can probably speak to the fact that I believe when the incident occurred, it was random. The victims were random.
Chief, can you talk about the process of charging? Is there something that's holding it up?
You know what? It's a great question. It's a very complex case, as you all know. The district attorney could speak to that a little better. I don't believe she's here now. She's working through the process with my investigators. But I don't believe it's anything other than it is a very complex case, and we need to make sure we get it right.
Is it possible when you look at where this weapon came from, that if it came from the parents or whoever it came from, that they could face charges for the fact that this minor had this gun?
That's a district attorney question. I don't know that.
Where did the gun come from? Where did the gun come from?
The gun came from the residence of the suspect.
So it's fair to say the parents own that gun.
I would say so, yes.
A lot of classmates have said that he was bullied. Is that something that you found in your interviews? Is that something you feel played a part in this at all?
We still have not put down those statements. We're still working on those.
How many interviews have you done so far? Last night you mentioned 60. Any more than that now?
We're well over 60. I don't have the exact number, but I believe that we're at 60. We're calling primary witnesses.
Can you tell who modified the gun?
We believe the suspect modified the weapon by cutting off the stock.
How does the system treat a 12-year-old accused of this type of behavior?
It's a pretty complex, I would say, system we're navigating through. If they want the particulars, I say that it'd be best to talk to the district attorney and my investigators. I know they're working through the complexities of that, but it's definitely the age puts a different spin on it from a adult offender.
Chief, the first two shots, were they inadvertent or was he trying to scare someone?
I don't know that.
Chief, you said there's evidence that he planned this event. Can you elaborate on that at all as to who the target was? The target the school? Was it students in general? Was it? It sounds like you don't think it was a particular student. Can you comment on that at all?
You know, not right now because I haven't. I think I need to let my investigators continue to work through the evidence they found. I don't want to give you misleading information, so I hold off on commenting further on that.
Is there any indication that he had a plan that was in any way interrupted by the teacher or the state police officer? Did he have more ammunition in the bag, or did it seem like he had more in mind than what he ended up doing?
There's no indication that he had any ammunition other than what was loaded in that weapon, 3 rounds.
What do we know about the suspect? I mean, his involvement in the community or school?
I don't know much about that myself. I can't comment on that right now.
Any kind of legal timeline that you can give us even a ballpark on?
No, again, not a lawyer. You're going to have to go to the district attorney for that.
Chief, we held off not releasing the suspect's name out of respect for your investigation. If we release it, does it hinder your investigation in any way? I know you can't say who he is, but I think everybody else
No,
knows.
it does not hinder.
Does it hinder you?
It doesn't hinder our investigation in any way, no.
Are his parents cooperating?
You know, I don't know. I haven't spoke to them. I know my investigators have been in contact with them, but I would only assume yes. I believe so.
Do you know if they've seen their son? They've never seen him?
Yes.
The 20-gauge shotgun, do you have any idea of the make model? Can you share that with us?
I don't right now. I don't.
On the 911 calls, we really heard from another, what I would call hero teacher. She was accompanying one of the students. I wondered if the superintendent could speak to that. Are you familiar with those calls? And she was holding, I believe it was Kendall, and accompanying Kendall while she was talking to 911.
I have not heard that recording. I'm sorry, I can't speak to that.
Okay, well, do you want to speak to the response from the teachers to that event yesterday?
A response from the teachers?
You want to speak to the response that your teachers showed that
Oh,
event?
the teachers were incredible. We've done the critical incident training here. We've done it at all schools. When this incident happened, there was a lockdown procedure initiated. Kids went to their classrooms. Teachers who were directly affected with the situation did their part in working with students, both the injured and the kids who were in the gym. The gym was full. It was a lot of kids, and they did the procedures that they were taught to do. They took the kids to the classroom, locked the doors, remained in the classrooms quiet until they were called out by authorities, taken by the bus. Everything worked exactly like clockwork, like we planned it to work, but never wanted it
How long
to
have
be
you been
used.
training for an active shooter? Is this something you've been doing here for a long time?
We've been training here, I believe, before I came to the superintendency here. But last year we had intensive training through the sheriff and the PD, and every one of the schools received training, and the teachers received the training.
But Tom, this is something that all the districts in the school
Excuse
have
me,
to
at this
do.
time, folks, we'll be taking no further questions. Thank you for being here. We're going to be moving on. We've provided as much info that we can at this moment. As time goes on and as the investigation does go on and more information that is pertinent to this becomes available, we will push it out. Thank you.